Yeah, let's say I want to lose some weight after having the imaginary son.
Okay, cool. No, sorry. It reminds me of this movie of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, then he
They got married.
Yeah, who knows?
One
Who
of the
knows
best
in the
movies.
Hello, welcome to the first awkward podcast of these three guys.
Live from Amsterdam.
Live from Amsterdam. Probably we are kind of unfamiliar yet.
Yeah.
In the future we won't be, hopefully. So yeah, I think maybe it's a good idea in the first round to introduce ourselves, say a little bit things about ourselves, what we are doing, what our background is, and then from there we just continue to explain what this podcast is about. What do you guys think? Yeah. So my name is Albert. I'm working as a business consultant at a small consulting firm. And in my spare time, I really like to do sports. I'm really sport type. I like to go on adventures, having fun with friends. So those are, the main things I do with my life currently right now. So that's who I am. How
Nice
about
to
you?
meet you, Albert.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Albert.
I'm Stefan. I'm working as a freelance data analyst. I've been working at multinationals, at banks. I like to do videography and photography on the side. I would love to build up a company somewhere in the future, a big company. I've had a couple of small startups on my name, but I want to put more energy and effort into building like a real empire. So yeah, that's it.
All right, cool, man. Well, yeah, my name is Bebot. Also living in Amsterdam. And I'm working as a corporate lawyer here at a big law firm. But of course, not in that capacity here. I was an entrepreneur also during my study at the university. And I like to talk about entrepreneurship and setting up new ventures. And also, talking about that with friends, of course. And that was also initially the idea behind this podcast, of course.
Yep.
Hobbies maybe.
Yeah.
I like to ride motorbikes. So that's a bit something about me. So
Cool hobby.
Yeah. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. No, but I think it's always good to,
Yeah.
always when you see new people on a podcast, you have to somehow introduce yourself, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because
Me too.
there are a lot of people with the same ideas or opinions or whatever, or interest. But I think what people make people is what they are also in the free time, their interests, what
Cool.
they care about. So I think it's nice to do it that way.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So
Just watch a lot of podcasts and you'll get to know us better.
yeah,
exactly.
That's true. Yeah. Just a couple of guys sitting around drinking and discussing shit,
Having a good talk.
having a
I
good
think.
talk.
Yeah.
Me
But
too.
it's also a good thing you mentioned, by the way, how we came up with this idea of this podcast, because the three of us, we share the same interest in terms of entrepreneurship. We talk about it in our free time.
Yeah.
We talk with friends, and from my personal perspective, well, as we discussed before, and also with you.
Yeah.
So what attracts me, what kind of people attract me the most are, of course, not in a dating sense, just to be sure here, but more in like in a business context, is people who just go for ideas and they don't really care about whether it's working or not working. They're just interested and open for new ideas. So let's say, for example, you come up with an idea for a firm and you contact a friend of yours and you say, well, I have this idea. They're always different kind of people, you know. So on one hand, you have people who say like, yeah, oh, interesting, tell me more. Or how about this, how about that? So they kind of like challenge you. They want to know more. They're open for it. And on the other hand, of course, you have multiple, but just general split. You have the people who say, the first response is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think you should do it.
Yeah.
And what I really like and what attracts me the most are the people who just say, yes, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And this is also
but
maybe
I think that you also should, to my opinion, you also should cherish those people around you, because those are also the people that will tell you when you have a bad idea.
Yeah.
Will tell you, okay, well, listen, dude, this is the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Or those are especially the people that will challenge you.
Yeah.
To
The people who are not open-minded.
exactly.
Yeah.
To be able to polish your rough diamond.
Yeah.
Being your idea,
True,
of
true.
course.
Yeah.
But you
So
have
I
to
think-
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly,
know
man.
that they have a different mindset.
Exactly.
That's
right.
okay.
Yeah,
What
they
I'm
will challenge
Yeah,
just to
you
be
have to know.
clear,
You have to have both in your group of people who are.
that's the reason
Yeah.
why the balance is
Discussing.
important. I'm not saying people should only be like this or like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
but there's also like maybe confirmation bias. You're only looking for the people who are
Sure.
like you,
Yeah,
you
sure.
know. But at the same time, I think what you just mentioned is also really interesting because sometimes it's difficult to see something from a different perspective.
Yeah.
True.
But the difference between, in my opinion, between the people who say, "Oh, interesting," or the people who say, "But how about this?" If you can say, "Well, how about this?" in a more challenging way, or you can just shut it down right now. And
That's
then-
true. Yeah, you could also have people around you that are challenging your idea, but who are also wanting to help you to improve your
Yeah,
idea. of
exactly.
course.
Yeah,
And
that's the
and I
difference.
think that's
Yeah.
Challenge you based on facts. Challenge you based
Yeah.
on their own experience or whatever. Not just saying it's not going to work out. For
Because
you
they
now."
want to help
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
and that's different.
That's a different thing.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the whole message here is like I think there's a general I don't know vibe or characteristic that entrepreneurs are usually open-minded. And
Yeah.
you need to be open-minded because when people challenge you, when people come up with new ideas, you have to think, hey, maybe they're correct, maybe they're right. Maybe
Basically, it means maybe I'm incorrect.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that's also kind of the thing we want to do with this podcast, right?
Yeah.
So the whole idea, probably you've heard in the introduction, we want to pitch ideas, cool business ideas, innovative ideas, discuss startups in general,
Yeah.
and then challenge each other.
Exactly
See,
right. Yeah.
Ask questions, see if
Yeah.
it sucks. Maybe it's the next Facebook. Maybe
That's exactly right. And also invite interesting entrepreneurs that are working in the field to discuss with us what are their challenges, of course.
Yeah, so
and
we
what the
practical
reason is
experience.
exactly, and yeah, giving us more practical experience to share with you guys. I think that's one thing. That's also an aspect of this podcast. Yeah. So. Right. So
We'll
what
start
should we
with
do?
an idea. Yeah.
Let's start with an idea.
you want to go first.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first.
You've been talking about it quite a while, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
haven't told us yet, but I'm really
All right,
curious.
cool, guys, cool. So guys, be very honest.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks.
I know, it sucks, but yeah.
You sure you wanna tell
be
this?
Yeah, I'm sure, and I
You won't hold back.
don't worry, man. I hope you guys are honest. That's more important to me. So yeah, the idea is basically this. I was a long time thinking about going after a hobby, and yeah, I wanted to learn how to play guitar. And then one thing led to another. That I was wanting to find a teacher who wanted to teach me how to learn to play guitar.
Yeah.
So basically, my idea was to set up a kind of a platform, maybe a website where people who are teachers, who are, for instance, playing guitar and who want to teach other people, or playing the piano, for instance, and also other people that are doing other stuff. I don't know, making sculptures or babysitters, for instance.
Okay.
So those kind of people, there isn't a platform for them these days to make a profile and have other people react on their their special expertise, for instance. So you can say, okay, well, I want to play guitar, man. This guy knows what he's doing, and his profile looks good. He has, I don't know, 4 stars out of 5. And I want to pursue that. I'm going to contact this guy, and then you can come in contact with each other. You of course have also different kinds of platforms like this. Like for instance, I forgot about the name.
I know Skillshare, but it's different.
Yeah, that's Skillshare,
Yeah,
exactly.
because I just want to
It's
get this clear.
physical,
Is
yeah.
it physical?
It's
like
physical,
face to face?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so
It's
it's like
face-to-face.
it's teaching focused. I mean,
Exactly.
From what you said teacher, you said guitar. It's like
Yeah,
teaching.
you teach. Yeah,
Okay.
you could think about that, but it's actually more of people. It could also be, for instance, a babysitter. Yeah. So for instance, if you're 16 years old and you're a babysitter, and you want to babysit and you're in high school, then you can make a profile, and because you also babysit at I don't know, your parents' friend's
So
house.
it's basically a service.
It's as yeah.
You are the person.
You are
so
the
let's say you make
person.
a profile.
Exactly.
You are the person. You are
exactly.
giving away a service to someone.
Exactly. Yeah.
And a
But
service is do you thought about like maybe a specific niche or what service you can sign up for, or get to be
You
whatever?
mentioned a couple, but
yeah, I mentioned a couple, but those are just mere examples.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could think about everything. Yeah. I also mentioned, for instance, making sculptures. Maybe I could be good in making sculptures, and I want to teach other people how to make sculptures. So people can think, oh, well, that's a cool lesson. I'm gonna sign up for it, and then learn how to make sculptures.
Exactly,
But there's also a substitute to this, because there are websites who also provide similar services as a platform. For instance, when you're a web developer, you can also sign up there, and then if someone asks for a web developer, then you can say, okay, I'm a web developer, I have this and that much experience in this and that. I write PHP, or I write Java, for instance, and I'll do this for this X amount of money. You can, that's a substitute, of course, that's similar to this idea, but this idea concentrates more on the average Joe that wants to, wants to earn an extra buck, but doesn't necessarily have the right platform to promote him or herself.
So basically, if I understand correctly, to me it sounds like it's a Dutch people would know it, a marktplaats, but then for services.
Exactly.
Literally,
Marktplaats is similar to Marktplaats.
Instead of
For the
trading
international
stuff,
viewers, it's eBay.
Yeah,
but
exactly,
eBay is not the right platform. It's eBay is more about, or Marktplaats is more about selling physical products.
true.
For instance, selling your second-hand bike.
Like making comparison to understand your idea.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing with Marktplaats is because a lot of people who, for instance, want to teach other people how to play guitar, those teachers, they also provide, how do I say that? Yeah, they also go on Marktplaats, and then they say, you can have 3 lessons for X amount of money. So
they do post it on Marktplaats.
Yeah, they do post it on Marktplaats, but actually Marktplaats is not the
it's
not
not
the
their focus
venue.
point.
So on the
that's
wrong
not the platform. Yeah.
But have you heard of Craigslist?
No.
So I haven't used it,
Yeah.
but I've heard people talk about it. I've seen it in vlogs, whatever. I know that a lot of YouTubers, they record stuff and then they send it to an editor, and they find an editor through Craigslist. So I'm not sure if it's exactly what you're saying.
It's similar to that. Yeah, it's similar to that. I think, but I think things like Craigslist are more for more professional service providers.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know the name Craigslist, but we're based in Amsterdam, so
True,
we're not familiar
we don't use it
with
here.
those kind of services that are provided. For instance, I think Craigslist is American, right?
Yeah, maybe we can use it, but it's
There's
no
not
market
around here. Yeah.
But then there's
So that's basically the idea. Yeah.
So I think that the Craigslist list thing is like a kind of what you mentioned. It's a generalized service marktplaats, so to say, marketplace.
Yeah.
But what I do know exists in Holland, and I think also Germany and Belgium use it. But it's really niche down. It's called Helpling. I don't know.
That's for
cleaning. Exactly. Yeah. And then there is another one, which is specific for babysitting, but I'm not sure what the name is. I've heard that it exists. I'm not sure if it's in Holland or US.
Yeah.
But for example, the guitar lesson thing.
Yeah.
I've never heard of an app that's niche down to, for example, let's say music teaching or music coaching.
I do know a YouTube channel from a guy from the Netherlands. I don't know his name, but now you mentioned guitar. Then I was thinking about him.
Yeah.
Who gives like guitar lessons and who has built like a training course.
Oh, cool.
But only has his own personal website and he gives courses to people. But it's only
more online.
Like one individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, courses, that's the cool thing about the internet. I mean, there's so much information right now.
Yeah.
Everyone can start playing the guitar very easily. Watch 10 YouTube videos and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But you don't have the direct feedback.
No.
You don't have someone next to you saying, no, hold the finger different. And,
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're missing. So
Yeah, so you could also think, for instance, about teaching or learning another language, for instance. Right now you have to see those handwritten advertisements at the supermarket, where someone, I don't know, can teach you Russian. The other day I saw that in the supermarket that someone can teach you Russian. I thought to myself, oh, wait a minute, a friend of mine is not right now also following this course about teaching Russian. So yeah, it could also be something something else than only music. So it's basically making a platform and not concentrating on very much so on a specific niche, I think.
So you would like to keep it broad?
Yeah, and I think that that's also possible when we dive into it more deeper. I think that you could create a platform where you can very much like, I don't know, Facebook or something, where you can post a couple of your videos, just create your own personal profile, and just say, okay, this is my expertise. I like to make sculptures. I like to teach that to you. I don't know, or I speak German. I want to teach German to you. Just coming up with stuff. And then saying, okay, well, this falls under this category, and if someone wants to, I don't know, teach or learn another language, then they can see, okay, this person can teach me Russian or something, and these are the available time slots, and then just apply or enroll yourself for that specific course.
The one thing I'm just interested about is you mentioned you want to target a broad audience. Then my question is, why do you choose to start with a broad audience instead of starting with a niche and then slowly expanding it?
Well,
or isn't this something you didn't think about at all?
Well, I actually did, but the reason I think this could be more successful is that when you concentrate too much on a niche, then maybe that specific niche, let's say music, isn't profitable enough. Or there's, for instance, I don't know, maybe much more demand for teachers or students wanted to learn another language in person, because you of course also have these different kind of apps where you can teach or learn another language. I think that narrows it down too much, I think. So at the beginning, you don't know which niche will work out. True. So with Helpling, I think that's a different thing, because you know that with Helpling, that's an app or a service helping you to find the best person cleaning your house.
But wouldn't you want to have the best person teaching you a guitar?
Exactly.
Or how to use a guitar?
Yeah, of course. But that doesn't necessarily mean that if you broaden the platform for other niches, for instance, music, languages, or any other hobby, that doesn't narrow it down to music. But for instance, let's say you start with a niche on music, then you completely exclude the other people that don't want to learn any new music, but who want to learn another language.
But how do you prevent yourself from being a jack of all trades, a master of none, as they sometimes speak about that one?
That's true. But I think that in this specific case, you're already specialized, or how do I say that? You're already being very specific, meaning that you want to concentrate on a certain type of service, bringing people together who want to provide one-on-one services physically. So that's I think, to my opinion, that's already specific. I don't know. Maybe also the Helpling strategy is also.
Yeah, it could be both.
Yeah, it could be both. Yeah, and maybe their strategy is
right or wrong.
just
It's basically
exactly. They're starting maybe with this niche.
Path, I think, right?
With with cleaning, and then maybe they wanna expand it to also other kind of services.
Because the thing what
Could be.
pops into
Not
my
sure.
head is, let's say, no, let it put me this way. One question before I ask my second question.
Yeah, cool.
How do you make an account? Is everyone allowed to make an account on the website or platform?
Yeah, sure.
And then say, well, this is my category and this is what I want to teach.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that's true. So then what I'm interested about is, how do you prevent from being overly... no, let me put it differently. How do you prevent yourself on the platform that you attract a lot of people from a certain specialism, so to say, and neglect others? So let's say you would open a platform and, I don't know, you get like 100 people assigned to your website. Or 10, let's make it more simple.
Yeah.
And then from the 10, for some reason, whatever, 5 people out of 10 are music focused.
Sure.
And then you get maybe like 1 maid and 3 or 4 other. Yeah. So then if people go to the website, if I would go to a platform, then I see, well, we share services, skills. I can teach you this. I can help you out with that. And then I see profiles, and like the majority, this is just a fictive scenario.
I know.
A lot of our music teachers, and then there's 1 waiter and 1 something else. Then I would be confused. But wait, what?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, so that the people that sign up actually kind of transform the whole platform,
Exactly.
the whole free platform, into actually a very specific.
Yeah. How do you remain
because-
control
could
to
be.
make? Do you want to have it diversified equally, or is it?
Yeah,
It's
that's
up to
a
you.
great question. I think that if you're looking for a music teacher, that doesn't necessarily mean that you get confused because you see also mates who also are having a profile there and are saying, we can also come and clean your house.
And let's
So
assume
that because you're basically focused on finding someone who can teach you how to play guitar.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you get confused because there's 1 mate there, because you're not looking at that category.
But let's say, okay, let's assume people don't get confused and everything is clear.
Yeah.
So under that assumption, would you then want to have all the specialisms which are available on the platform evenly distributed? So everyone that's on the platform, you have the even amount of each discipline or
I think
group
now
or...
we're going way,
we're
way deep.
we're going deep. But to maybe answer your question,
we can.
that's
If we go too
that's
deep,
a
you
great
just
question.
say
But
it.
maybe there's in a specific city, in a small town, there aren't a lot of people who are teaching you how to make sculptures. I don't know, but there are maybe 2 or 3 I don't know, babysitters, and that's what you're looking for, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't see the downside, to be honest, on having maybe 2 or 3 babysitters and having 10 teachers who want to teach you how to play guitar.
Yeah.
It just happens. It's kind
just
of also
happens,
outside of your
Yeah.
control. The same
there's
scenario
another
could be
bad,
applied to Marktplaats, that all of a sudden a lot of people just start selling, I don't know, whiskey glasses. And a lot of people are selling whiskey glasses, and a lot of people start buying whiskey glasses on Marktplaats.
Yeah.
It just happened, but is it
Yeah.
a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
just
true.
interested. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily
yeah.
bad,
Yeah,
but I was
that's
just
a good question.
thinking
Yeah.
about I think it's good to just
It
think
can
about it.
definitely happen, yeah.
Yeah.
So
There was one thing I wanted to ask,
cool. Please do.
but I kind of
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah. So the thing is, when you start niche down... Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. So when really thinking from the perspective of someone who would like to have a guitar coach or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So he Googles and he gets 2 results. And the one is, I don't know, how would you say, service platform. And then you can search on guitar coach, guitar instructor. Or there's another platform called guitar instructor platform. Like, aren't you...
Or music platform.
Or a little bit more niche down, a little bit more specific for him. So this might be a bit bad example, but we discussed it the other day.
Yeah.
For example, let's say I just gave birth to a son. I was a pregnant woman, and I want to...
Bro, do you want to tell me something?
Yeah, I have a... No, and I
Is
want
your girlfriend what?
Confessions.
Mom, Dad.
Sorry.
Just kidding. Just fooling around.
No, so... and I get 2 results, and one is like a big jack bodybuilder, and he has this selling an online course, whatever, and it's called losing weight.
Yeah.
Specifically what I need, or exactly what I need, right?
Yes.
But there's also another course which says how to lose weight after just giving birth to a son, like more specific.
Yeah.
Which one would I like Which one would I click more on?
This sounds to me as a rhetorical question, in the sense that, of course, the person that sees the website that, in a couple of words, says that that's the service they are looking for, they probably are more keen to click on that, of course.
Yeah.
And it's also better for your search engine optimization, SEO.
Yeah, as well.
So that's another thing. But the thing about that is why do people nowadays go on websites like beslis.nl that are also I don't know, for the international viewer, beslis.nl, beslis.nl, that there's also a platform who gives you the ability to look for the best provider of any other product.
So I can compare it to...
compare it, exactly. Okay. So you can compare price, but you can also compare delivery time, stuff like that. So I think that depends on your own preference. That if you want to find out who the best guitar teacher is in your neighborhood, that you would be more keen on clicking on this platform that I was mentioning, rather than clicking on, I don't know, very specific type of
maybe it also what I'm thinking.
Cool.
Maybe it also has something to do with the way you're searching on the internet. For example, let's say you want just to learn anything, then I would maybe come up on the website you just mentioned, like Skillshare, whatever. Sure. Like I want to improve on a general view. I want to improve some skills. I don't know what yet, but I want to improve my skills. Yeah. Then I would maybe look for such a website, so a more general website. But maybe if I'm really specific, like guitar, I think, my personal opinion, I would first go to Google guitar lessons. So I would come to a more niche down website. At least that's the way I look for things. Yeah.
But just one thing. Have you ever gone on the computer and said, what skill do I want to learn today? Let's go on Skillshare and just look around a little bit. Yeah. You always already know
that is true.
What you want to
do, that's true. But for example, in courses I did. So let's say sometimes I think, you know what? I heard about what's this site called? Udemy? I don't know how to pronounce it. Courses, so don't judge me. But anyways, those kind of courses, courses sites, then I go there. So I just go for courses. Then I don't know what I want to look for. I will see.
Online courses, by the way?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So then I go to their website and I search website. Maybe there are some courses, things I want to learn, but I didn't know I wanted to learn. So there's always something to learn. In that case, cool. I do that way.
Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. But I think the idea is good. I mean, don't get me wrong. So it kind of looks like Craigslist. There is a Craigslist, but there's no Craigslist here in Holland. There's no Craigslist in Europe. So there is a gap.
Right. There's a gap for the market. There could be demand.
Right.
Yeah. Because and so are these questions, by the way, regarding marketing? Because I do maybe have...
This applies to every idea.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but because let's say that you want to find the best babysitter in your town, right? So you probably go on Google and then just search Google, right? What you could do is just make a very simple, I don't know, WordPress, Joomla or Magento website. That's CMS type, where you can just download different kinds of plugins. For instance, Salesforce or any other customer relation manager tools, where you can just install those things, those tools and plugins in your website, that when someone is searching on Google for the best teacher or the best babysitter in town, then when they are, for instance, on Facebook, the plugins you've installed give you the ability to be very specific on your marketing money that you want to spend.
Okay.
So, for instance, let's say, you want to find a babysitter because you got a son. Okay, cool. Then, if our website has those kind of tools, those kind of CRM, CMS tools, then when you're search on Google for finding the best babysitter, and you go on Facebook, then that program gives you the ability to program Facebook to show, different kind of advertising.
But I think now we're getting quite
That's
quite
But I also thought about the marketing. That's what I wanted to mention. To market your whole platform.
But before, if you take one step back, you talked about demand.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would do is first to check whether, but maybe you checked it already. First to see what's currently right now in the market. So what companies are doing such a thing, or at least comparable to doing such a thing. And then also, is there maybe a demand for it?
Yeah.
And just to verify, go out there, run some tests, whatever, and then think about the marketing. Just as a
exactly right. Yeah, and I think that I don't think that it could be very difficult to set up something like this. There are a lot of platforms out there.
Yeah, plug and play
kind of platforms, and those CMSs that I just mentioned, for instance, WordPress or Joomla or stuff like that. You can just very easily teach yourself how to make those. So you don't have to have a lot of starting capital. That's what I was trying to say. It's relatively easy to set up something like this.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you need, I don't know, $1 million or €1 million in starting capital to set up something like this. Just go out there, just do it.
True.
No.
True.
Yeah.
And to come back to your question about the is there demand for this? There is at least one guy, because he came up with the idea because he was in need of a guitar instructor. Yeah. And that's the cool thing with the most best ideas always come from a genuine lack of something. Facebook, I think, started like a profile website for their university because there was none. Yeah. And then it grew into Facebook. And it's always like that. An idea starts from, hey, I need this. It doesn't exist, so I'm going to build it myself. Yeah. Kind of what Elon Musk is doing with all.
And the trap a lot of people also make is thinking, I have a need, but it probably exists somewhere, so I don't even start.
Exactly.
And then you get lost into the pool.
But the fact that you have the need and it isn't fulfilled, or it isn't fulfilled easily, means that someone, if it exists, they're not doing a great job, because you still have that need. Yeah. You're still lacking something. They didn't market it right to you. It's not cheap enough for you. You don't have it.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. So that's basically it. And what I also wanted to mention was, you don't have to create the next Google, of course. You don't have to create the next Facebook.
Start small, right?
Yeah, just start small. Also, if there's something similar out there, just start off and just genuinely or incrementally make that idea better by adding other tools, by adding other features to it. Yeah. So maybe, of course, there's Craigslist. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's eBay or Marktplaats. But you could also make your own platform, specialize in this.
But actually, you know what's interesting about this idea? It's somehow related to the idea I had.
Oh, cool.
So maybe if it's okay with you guys, we go to the second idea.
The only question I wanted to ask, how would you call the company? Or you haven't thought about it yet?
I'm gonna think about it.
Okay, you haven't thought about it yet. Okay.
Yeah, nothing on top of my head.
Curious about your idea. Yeah, no, but the funny thing is that
good question.
I'm just gonna be honest. It's an idea I just realized based on my interest and the things I'm good at, and the one thing is like public speaking. So what triggered me was I have this one goal for myself. Now it's on camera, so I'm accountable by all viewers. I want to do a TED Talk one time. When, I don't know. So now it's out there, so I have to do it. Yeah. But the thing is, when I was younger, I was kind of, how do you say, in front of audiences always felt not necessarily awkward, but more like you get nervous. You know, it's normal when you're younger and younger. Then I experienced when I went to college, for example, that I liked being in front of audiences, and I like presenting, and I also like helping people in my spare time. That's also what I do as a business consultant. You have to help clients. Yeah. And then the reason this idea of mine is linked to yours is because I want, or maybe in the future, help people to become maybe better public speakers.
Oh,
So
awesome, man.
do you do like a service, for example, something like a coaching?
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't thought about it a lot, but it's something that comes from a like genuine interest, and I should check it out how I would do it.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty personal thing. And maybe if that platform becomes something, I can assign on the platform.
Yeah.
So I become the first client on the
Nice.
on the platform. So hey, if you need some public speaking, then come to me. No,
Yeah,
just
contact
jokes
this
aside.
guy.
No, jokes aside, but that was a
Links
thing.
down below.
Links down below. I don't have a site yet, but it will come.
We don't have a website yet.
He's waiting for
It will come. Yeah.
No, but the
very
thing
easy.
is-
WordPress.
No, but the thing is like somehow I don't know, from based on some conversation also with you, like okay, so what is your interest in, like what do you get energy from? I really experience like I like presenting, helping people, and then I thought like, okay, wait a second, if you combine those two, maybe you can do something like a coaching to helping people.
Yeah,
like, okay, wait a second, how do you stand in front of people?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. You can make some kind of like video tape about yourself, how you are in front of a public or whatever, and then I help them how to improve
Would
it.
you do it like in the form of a? You mentioned Udemy, like an online course, or would you do the coaching face to face?
That's the thing. That's the thing I still have to decide on.
Okay.
But like, if I had to pick a choice right now, I think I would go for more personal thing.
Yeah,
or you can also
So,
diversify.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you can do it.
or
yeah,
more
yeah.
in a group of people that want to present something.
I think I would start first with one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
Based on those experience, I will also improve myself and in helping people.
Yeah.
And then based on that, I can maybe make a course next to it. But I'm a really big believer of first doing things, showing things that they work, and then making course around it. Because I also have to learn, because I haven't done a TED Talk myself. So I first want to
do
prove...
the TED Talk. And
Exactly. I first want to do the TED Talk myself. That's a personal goal I have.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I want to help people to do the same thing.
Oh, that's
So
pretty
that's
awesome,
an
man.
idea in my head, and then
Yeah.
how I exactly want to work it out, I'm not sure
Not
yet.
I know there is at least I think it's in Holland. No, it's in the whole Europe. I forgot the name, but it's a group of people. You can join it as a member.
Yeah,
And that their focus is presenting, how to present yourself, how
yeah,
kind of public speaking.
More like an acting class.
Almost.
Yeah.
So I think you
Oh,
get
okay.
together. They do it in like Barcelona, Madrid. They have events or whatever. And you can
Sure.
join if you're a member.
Yeah.
And then I'm not a member. I was interested. I haven't done my research, but I know there is a group. You can join. You can practice presenting yourself, public speaking, kind of. So it's maybe not necessarily what you want to do,
yeah,
but maybe it can help you on your way to the TEDx talk.
yeah.
You can
Okay,
become a member
that's an
and
interesting idea. And then
practice
from
your
there,
shit,
where you can see how it how
I'll
it
try
goes.
it because I know one friend was a member of that group, or still is. I'm not sure, so I can ask him the name and then
Yeah.
I'll give you the name.
So basically, it's also good to think about the things you guys mentioned. So let's say you would go for this idea, you would do it. First, of course, you need to have some experience yourself, to how to stand in front of a big group, for example. But also, it's maybe important to think about, are you going for, let's say, a course or both or a mix of those?
Yeah.
But I think, in my opinion, you can do both.
Yeah, of
it
course.
shouldn't be mutually
You
exclusive.
can write a book about it. You can make a documentary about it. You can do
Yeah,
anything
exactly.
about it.
But
So-
I think like the first thing starts with doing the thing yourself.
Yeah.
Then finding people that want
Yeah.
to improve themselves as
Yeah, I
well.
agree.
But my opinion is, if you go to, and this is the difference between your platform and the things I'm doing, it's more like a private thing. So you're
Yeah.
more, I'd say, close to the people. You're more one-on-one, so giving a personal vibe. So there's no platform of multiple public speakers, but it's more like me, Albert, helping people to become better as a public speaker. So that would be the difference.
Yeah, you are the company, and you build a platform that connects companies to
Exactly, that would be the difference.
Yeah.
But so that was just an idea I had,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
this idea fits perfectly, I think, to to my previous idea for which I
No,
don't,
but this is funny.
don't have a good name yet.
But that's funny because
I still
By
don't
the end
know.
of this podcast, you
I will, man.
but that's really funny because we had everybody of us had one idea for today, and then it's interesting to see that at least right now 2 ideas are somehow interlinked.
yeah.
That's really funny to see.
I have
then
to
you
be
see-
honest. I have to be honest. My idea, but we all kind of already told you a couple of weeks ago.
Oh
what
yeah,
the general
the
idea
idea
is.
you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. So
Are we now
way,
switching by the way to the third idea,
sure,
or
but-
do you have some general things you want to mention?
yeah,
or
maybe
if you have some questions.
By the way, the thing is flashing a lot. I don't know. Maybe
Let me
that's
check. Yeah,
let's
quick break.
check the-
quick break.
yeah,
Quick break.
Exactly.
Take some.
We have some
drinks,
technical
go to the
difficulties.
toilet. I think I would brand myself as a more as a guy that also started with not being scared of being in front of a group, and then slowly improving yourself, standing in front of a group, and then actually, that's the funny thing. Actually, instead of like avoiding people and groups, actually seeking groups.
Yeah,
so
get better at it.
Exactly, and that's how I would like diversify myself. So more personal experience.
What kind of groups?
How do you mean?
Yeah, for instance, you were mentioning seeking groups. What do you mean by that? I'm interested.
For example, in companies. So let's say there's a lot of people. They're used to standing in front of a meeting. You have a meeting with maybe let's say 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
But then there are also people that want to go stand in front of a group that is much bigger. For example, myself one time.
Something else. Yeah.
So myself one time I had a presentation, and I was in a group of like, I think like 200-300 people.
Yeah.
At the company, and that was pretty interesting because when you do that such thing at the first time, in the beginning, I'm just gonna be honest, that's the same thing that goes with Olympic athletes. They still get this, like, whoa, it's gonna be,
you
healthy
get
dose of
adrenaline.
But then when
That's
you're
where you have to
exactly, and then when you're
Yeah.
done with it, I don't know, you get a good feeling. It's like, okay, nice, and you want to present information.
Yeah.
So that's how I would brand myself, and maybe that answers the questions, or
Yeah, well, the question was,
so
How
more
would you brand
personal
yourself?
contact.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a name, I think.
Yeah? Go ahead.
Servicio.
Service.
I don't know if that exists or not.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sounds
it could
good.
be simple. Yeah, it could be catchy.
Servicio,
Has something to do with service.
To be honest, it sounds already like I know the company. It sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
Servicio,
So
servicio.
maybe come up with a better one. I
Is it
think.
something
No,
like
but that's
Italian?
good. That's
Oh
a
yeah,
good-
maybe I thought maybe it probably
Servicio.
exists. Yeah.
It's like Servicio. When I think about the name, it goes like 2 ways. On the one hand, it's like Servicio, really nice, or some Italian mobster. It's gonna go 2 ways.
Servicio. Yeah. Hey, servicio.
It's like, or you
Go
get
fuck
like,
Yeah.
Plus, the funny thing is,
I'm walking here, servicio.
Yeah.
I'm walking here.
breaking my balls. Breaking my balls.
you're coming here.
No,
Hey
but
boy, I'm gonna break your legs. I'm gonna put them back together and break them again. Hey boy.
Yeah.
you got those, like the last couple of years, you see more and more domain names, like
Yeah.
www.blah.blah.io.
Okay.
So you could make it www.service.io. Servicio.
Oh, servicio. Oh, nice.
I didn't know
That's
that
pretty
one.
cool.
There were a
Yeah.
lot of,
it's just like YouTube. That's also U and then two and then
BE.
.be.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
Belgium.
seen that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So,
Cool, man.
Cool name.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah, but so I wanted to. Do you still have any questions for?
Yeah, if you have any questions.
I think it's a good idea, man. Just pursue it. Just go for it.
Yeah, but if you have some
Yeah.
other things like, okay, maybe you should think about this or this or this.
Well, I think that this service, there could be a lot of competitors in this specific market that you're mentioning.
Yeah.
I think so, because the other day I saw this advertisement online, also about this kind of service, teaching people how to stand for an audience in front of an audience.
But the one question I
Yeah.
had myself was, for
But
example.
the thing is that you are different from all those other people because you're Albert, and you can market yourself as being the person that is going to teach you. So that's I think that
I like to make things personal.
exactly.
It's
yeah.
like I'm a big believer in making things personal and going for the experience with people
yeah.
while helping them, instead of like making this. Of course, a course also helps people in a more structured way, because the thing is, you have different people, they have different levels of help they need. So you can make a course for beginners, advanced, whatever.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
So those differentiations you always will have, but the core thing is it's more personal experience.
Yeah.
So my target audience would be people who want to improve their public speaking skills, and which like to have a more personal coach or whatever you want to call it.
I think that the thing that makes this or your competitive advantage compared to other providers for similar services would be that what I mentioned just now is that you're Albert and you're the teacher. So people want to have this seminar or these lessons or this course from you.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the big difference, because there are a lot of providers. If you go and search on Google, that will provide the same services, but you maybe not necessarily would know who your teacher is.
Yeah.
But if you would do this TED Talk, for instance, that would be a huge marketing boost, I think.
Yeah.
And then people would know that you're Albert teaching these kind of lessons, and people who are inspired by you, for instance, by your TED Talk, will eventually enroll for your course.
Yeah, that's
That's-
the thing you
that-
want to
that's what I
spark
think.
with such a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
say you do the TED Talk.
Yeah.
You need people in the audience to say, I want to present like that guy. I want to do exactly what he's
Yeah.
doing on the stage.
Because
No,
the-
because anybody can stand on the stage. No, not anybody, but you could stand on the stage with zero anxiety. Hello, this is me having the TED Talk presentation. This is the graph. With no anxiety. But that doesn't mean you're a good public speaker.
No.
Yeah.
So it's not just
Yeah.
about the getting rid of the nerves and whatever. You have to portray
Yeah, but
something.
that's
and people have to say, wow, I want to...
But that's
Yeah,
the
like
thing.
that guy. And I
You
think-
have to be a persona.
True,
And that's
exactly.
the reason. And the only way, that's my opinion, to be a persona is being yourself. So
Yeah.
not pretending to be the next Obama standing there, for example.
Sure.
I'm not gonna offend any Jesse Klaver fans
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
but there was this thing about him and copying a speech of Obama, something
Sure,
like this.
yeah,
and
this is a
then
Dutch politician, by the way.
Yeah, Dutch
who,
politician. copied the
yeah,
speech
who
of
copied
Obama.
the speech of Obama by also rolling up his sleeves and doing...
And then
yeah.
get some critique.
Yeah, exactly. And doing the same thing that Obama did during his campaign. So
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the main message here is stick to the person you are, and that should
of
be
course,
the person
yeah,
on stage.
that's
But
being
also
authentic. Yeah,
exactly. Being authentic is the key, and
That's
that
the
would
key.
be at least that would be the thing I would do. Just be yourself, and there's
Yeah.
other people who are also themselves. Maybe
Yeah.
they're doing also public speak from a different way, but that's the way
Yeah.
it is. But that's the way I would market.
Later on, we'll put the link down below if you want to follow a course from Albert.
sure.
You can.
in the description.
Just find him on servicio.com.
No, service.io.
Oh, sorry. I mispronounced my own company name.
Okay,
That
so
you just came
to
up
finish
yeah,
off, is there
yeah, did I just come up
Is
with?
there something else you have questions or thought like, okay, that's the thing. If I would do it, let's say you would be me,
Yeah.
and you will go, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Is there things
yeah.
you would think about?
Yeah. You, of course, also work for a living. So how would you find the time to do this? How do you want to do this?
Maybe also a good question in general. How would you... Well, I think a lot of people, maybe even listeners, will have a full-time job, have some kind of side project, side hustle, and ideally they would live from that.
Yeah.
Make their passion or hobby into
Yeah.
a full-time job. How would you go about that? Maybe.
I think I would just start small. So dedicating myself like a certain, it could be a certain amount of hours or a certain amount of objectives, let's say in a month to achieve next to my work, and then
Yeah.
slowly increasing it. But I really want to do it next to the job. So you have to
Yeah.
do it in your free time.
Yeah,
But slowly, improving it.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I think so too.
That's how I want to do it. It's not like
I
I'm
also
gonna
think
quit my
that-
job
yeah.
and do it full time.
Yeah, it was also a rhetorical question because I know that you could do it, of course.
Yeah.
But it's more like thinking about it and thinking like, okay, I'm working also, and how does
It's
this?
a good thing to take into
Yeah,
consideration, being
you should
realistic
also
and
always take
yeah.
these kinds
Okay.
of things into you. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Into mind.
I have, to
Yeah.
be honest, I haven't thought about it. But I
Yeah.
think it's a good thing that I can take with me and
Sure.
reflect upon,
Yeah.
and then see
Cool.
how that would work out.
Mm.
So thanks for the
Yeah.
input.
Cool, man. Glad I could help.
Okay, so then the last idea of today, I think.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think I started a little bit about it already, and I think it has a lot of familiarities with today's topic. I think I'm not sure if you're aware of the business model. It's called the Uber of ... Because in the last 10 years, we have a lot of business models that are kind of doing what Uber is doing for the taxi business. But like, for example, with the babysitting app. That's the Uber for babysitting. So you have the helpling. That's the Uber for cleaning
Yeah.
people.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's not good, or that's not a bad thing. I think that's just a new business model. Like Airbnb is the Uber of I don't know,
Hotel.
renting out,
Exactly.
renting out your own house, whatever. And
Uberfication.
yeah, and
Uberfication, yeah.
Boom.
Uber for
You're welcome.
Uber platform.
Uberfication, that's a good term, yeah.
Mic
So-
drop, but I can't drop this. Fuck it.
Where your idea is Servicio is kind of an Uber for face-to-face services,
Yeah.
as I could say. My idea is kind of a niche down version of that, and it started actually last year when I moved to this house where we're recording the podcast. And I just moved in. My dad helped me a lot. Then we did the general things, the most important things were finished. But like I still had to do some electricity, connect some lamps to the network, whatever. and I'm not really handy, to be honest. So what did I do? I FaceTime my dad, and I told him, hey, this lamp needs to connect, but when I hit the switch, it's not working. What do I need to do? And I FaceTimed it, and he would help me like, oh yeah, check if this button is on or off. Oh, it's off. Oh, then you should do this. Hey, it works. Thanks, Dad. And I, like, in 2 minutes, he helped me figure out something. And then I thought, like, hey, this would be a fucking cool idea. That you have, like, this app, the Uber of handymans, for example.
Nice.
Where, I don't know, you have a leakage in your washing machine. The drain is not working. What was the thing called? That the dishwasher is broken, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
And you don't have the time to go to a store and buy a whole fucking dishwasher. And you're not really handy yourself. So what do? You find this guy on an app. His expertise is fixing dishwashers, whatever.
Sure.
You call him up. It costs 10 cents per minute, 20 cents, 30 cents, whatever.
Whatever.
I don't have the details. And you FaceTime with him. He tells you what's wrong. Either you should buy new parts. Maybe you can repair it yourself. Or maybe the verdict is, hey, your dishwasher is finished. You need to buy a new one.
Nice.
But you get like advice on demand, handyman on demand. So it's kind of a niche down version of what you just told, and it's also not face to face. So it's FaceTiming a handyman.
You know what's the cool thing in my opinion about this idea is that it makes for both of the people in this situation. So on the one hand, for the man sitting in the room or woman, and for the handyman himself or herself, that it saves a lot of time. So it's a really, I think, a benefit for both parties. I mean, that's my first impression.
You don't have to make an appointment with a plumber, for instance, that comes over to fix your sink.
Yeah.
Right?
The only
you
thing
can do it yourself. And it's also much cheaper.
About,
true.
Saves
if it's
time.
not an emergency, like if the water level in your house is not rising, then you can do it.
You probably call a plumber.
True.
But the only thing I'm curious about is, let's say something happens on the spot. Was your idea like, okay, let's say I'm in this house right now and this microphone breaks, whatever, and you two guys disappeared, and I don't know what to do. So should I then, for example, call the handy microphone guy and say like, okay, hello, this microphone is not working, or is it like this thing wasn't working and I should make an appointment to fix it? So is it on at that moment in time that something happens, or do you have to make an appointment?
No. So no appointment. So the thing is, just like your idea. You have a profile where you mention your expertise. So in that case, that would be
microphones.
Sound engineer.
Exactly.
Microphones, USB,
computer.
plugs, whatever. And you see he's online. So of course, I mean, you're not gonna call someone who in Australia who's sleeping right now. Of course, he can have like times that he's available, and you scroll down the list. Oh, this guy has good reviews, is available, and his expertise is microphones. Click.
Exactly. Click.
And then
call.
he can respond like, okay, I want to earn some money, or sorry, I'm busy right now.
Okay, check. No, just
on demand. Like right now.
Okay, sure.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's I really think it's a good idea, man.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you ever had a situation where you needed it, but like that, what we also discussed in the beginning of this podcast, that was really a
I'm pretty handy myself, man.
Yeah.
For all your plumbing services, call this guy.
Through my app.
Through his app. Or servicio.com. Servicio.com.
Or Servicio,
This podcast was brought to you by servicio.com.
It's Servicio.
Hey,
but on a serious note, to me, first impression sounds really good because there's so many moments, especially me myself. Sometimes there's a Dutch saying, 2 left hands for people who are not really handy themselves.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. No, but I had myself, for example, that situation multiple times where I think like, how do I do this? Yeah. And then of course I'm a research type of guy, so then I go to Google how to do this, but it takes a lot of time. I just want to have the straight answer. I don't want to read about how to do this or that, but then straight what to do.
Tutorial of 25 minutes.
And the cool thing is also, in my opinion, in terms of costs, let's say, of course you have to think about how to do the cost model, but it doesn't have to take a lot of time. So that means that it also doesn't be really expensive. So I think from my personal experience, let's say I need a guy for 5 minutes and it's so much, but then I would think like, you know what, those few minutes, I don't care. So
a couple of euros.
Yeah, why not? So then I think the, how do you say, drempel, the
resistance
threshold,
to use it.
Yeah, the threshold, exactly. The threshold to use a service, from my point of view, would be real low. I would use it.
But I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
to also challenge you, of course.
That's why we're here.
The first one is, okay, you just mentioned the microphone. That's pretty specific, man.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that I've registered myself as being specialized in computers. So a microphone, how does that fit in your different kind of categories? How would you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so good question. So we would first have to come up with some general categories. So
Yeah.
I don't know, kitchen,
Like most common.
audio technology, visual.
Yeah, but
visual
kitchen could be
gadgets, visual
anything.
technology.
Kitchen could also be electricity, but also be plumbing.
Yeah,
true.
but then you have to
okay,
define
true.
where's the line. Of course.
Yeah, so that's the way. How do you want to categorize it?
Yeah.
Do you want to do
And
it?
also for someone who registers him or herself on your website, saying that I'm specialized, for instance, in kitchens, then that person can say I'm specialized in kitchens. That's the category. Yeah, but maybe that person is better in, I don't know, plumbing or
Yeah, okay,
you know
but
what I
then-
mean?
then
So
they
how
should-
specific
they should-
or how would you let people market themselves on your platform?
Good question. Maybe not even use categories, but just on a very low granularity. I don't know, very detailed.
Yeah.
Just put in the keywords. So let's say I'm a handyman who wants to earn some money on this
Yeah.
platform. I'm really good in divine mic USB. This mic we're using right now for this podcast. That's my expertise, and I'm also really good by slim chance that I'm really good in Samsung dishwashers or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no category kitchen or audio technology. There is just keyword and mic USB
Yeah.
and dishwasher from Samsung.
Cool.
So if someone who looks, hey, my Samsung dishwasher is broken, you get my profile.
But on the
but
other
the-
hand, for me, it's more logical to just search on dishwasher.
Yeah,
Dishwasher. So
Yeah,
if I
but
would
what
have problem, I would
think?
on
What would
category.
you think then? So the thing that you I think should take into account is that when you're being too specific, then that's
There's a chance
The
to
bomb
leave.
is
some-
exploding. No.
Yeah.
okay. We gotta defuse a bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on your website and then how do I defuse
How
this
to
bomb?
defuse
Yeah, but so what I'm trying to ask is how specific do you want to be, and how do you work with synonyms? For instance, someone says microphones, types in microphones, but maybe someone has said that he or she is specialized in mics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
So
isn't
you,
this, isn't
yeah,
this
you want to connect
exactly
people.
this-
So how do you do that?
Isn't this exactly the same what Google is doing, but just like a
Yeah.
little bit more niche down? Because it's all search engine.
Yeah, it's search
optimization.
engine. Yeah.
So I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it's
Sure.
not my problem. It's you want to be found. You want to earn money on the platform. Figure out which keywords are.
Oh, I know what you mean.
So
So,
what we
type
could do
in
as a
mics
platform-
and also microphones.
Yeah, for
Both.
example. And
Sure.
what we could do is give you analysis. So Google is giving, I think it's called Adwords and keyword, keychain analysis, whatever.
yeah.
So you can like analyze what people are searching for. So you can do it on our platform as well. A lot of people are looking for Samsung microphones, but not whatever other microphone.
And they're
so
always-
you know if you want to be found on microphones,
Yeah,
put in the.
But
Exactly.
that comes down. That comes down to
Okay,
decision.
that's I think,
I think it
that
comes-
answers my question.
That also comes
Yeah,
down to the
good one.
decision, I think, because there always will be some people who make the most creative work out of mic, you know, and then
Yeah.
they will search for that creative word
Yeah.
and won't find anything.
Yeah,
So
true.
it depends also on
But
yourself.
on the other hand, that pops into my mind just now is that okay? You say that that's the person's problem to fill in the different tags because these are probably tags, of course. But if someone isn't found, then maybe that other person will not use the platform that frequently. You know.
No, but you can see the things,
Because
right?
you have to have, for instance, I don't know, 10 plumbers from which you want to choose one.
Yeah.
But if these plumbers aren't found because, I don't know, the tag dishwasher isn't in their different kind of tags, then those plumbers are like, okay, I'm not getting any
True.
services or I'm not getting paid by this app, this platform doesn't work. It's garbage.
But then again, I would copy the Google model because Google isn't doing that either. If you're searching for, I don't know, a BMW car on Google,
Sure.
the first 100 pages probably will only be about a BMW car. But
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you also get Audi, Opel, Fiat,
Yeah.
whatever. The, how do you say, less relevant keywords.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
and then
it's
my
not
question
relevant.
would
Number
be,
one, you would get the keyword that you're searching on, which was most relevant.
Yeah.
But let's say they're not really a dishwasher expert, but kind of a plumbing expert, whatever, then there would be second, third, fourth, fifth result.
So, could you maybe explain to me how would you? Yeah, Google is $1 billion. It's worth billions of dollars. So it's much bigger of a company. So, how would you build in this search engine in your platform?
Good question.
Maybe
that would be our added value.
That would of course be your added value, of course. But also, I don't. That's maybe also a solution to this. There's probably a CMS, WordPress plugin that's been programmed by someone who maybe could help you with this.
Yeah, there's probably open source search engine algorithms or whatever.
There probably is.
You can always find these things online externally.
So you could maybe tackle that this way.
Yeah,
or optimize, of course, your or maybe when someone is filling in their different kind of tags, for instance, kitchen, also give them suggestions. Kitchens, and if you fill kitchens, do you mean this and this and this, and then give them the ability to click on more tags.
That's what Google is doing as well, right?
Exactly right. True. Yeah, that because I think in essence, this idea is a great idea.
Yeah,
this could work because I would be someone who would use this app myself. Yeah. So in essence, I think it'll work.
Who knows?
Maybe maybe the only thing I would think about then is, because it's Handyman, so I assume it's only about things in the house or maybe things in the garden or whatever. So where does the word handy stop? So what is the limit? You know, because when I think about Handyman, I think about things inside the house, maybe outside, but where does it stop? Because a handyman could also be my car's broken.
Yeah, sure.
So then it becomes
why not?
quite detailed.
So let loose of the term handyman. That's what I use. For example, a sound engineer. He's not really a handyman, but he's helping you with
So the question is,
where's the scope? So that's the thing we discussed in the beginning of the podcast. I would rather start from niche down. So let's say it's handyman, and then make it broader. So include cars, include airplanes, whatever you want to include. But start very niche down, and then once people find you and start using the platform, start feeling comfortable, add a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And why would you go for that choice?
As I told you, if I'm a pregnant Arnold Schwarzenegger and I wanna lose weight, I'm gonna look for how to lose weight as just giving birth to my son, and not follow advice from some big bodybuilder who's giving general.
Check.
So, but that's my personal opinion, and then I try to.
I was just interested. So
you can do it both ways.
Exactly. There's no one or no wrong or right. It's just like it's this. It is the way it is. It's like, why would you choose to
look at Amazon, for example? They started very broad. They were they
sometimes there is a wrong actually. But
well, no, Amazon started as a book company.
Pretty niche down, right?
That's pretty niche down.
And now they're fucking
they own everything.
Who? Amazon. Never heard of it.
It's this Jeff Benzo.
Never heard of it. No, but okay. So those were, I think.
By the way, my second question is: have you seen of Microsoft augmented reality?
What's the glasses called? The HoloLens.
The HoloLens, exactly right. I saw this. I saw this YouTube tutorial about the HoloLens the other day, and there was also a built-in functionality that someone else could give you advice remotely through the HoloLens. So that's basically the same idea, but of course,
but like next level.
That's the next level.
Yeah.
So people with the HoloLenses. But that's, I don't know, maybe
kind of the same.
That's kind of the same thing.
Now I have a question because you asked that one. Then what I'm wondering, basically, it's on the phone. Is that a compatibility? You connect with the phone.
So it has to be low threshold.
Exactly. But then what I'm thinking about, I mean, most of the phones, I mean, on average, have pretty good cameras. But I can also imagine that some people have a older phone, so it might impede the clear view of someone. So you're also dependent on one, how the person explains what their problem is, and second, what the camera quality is. maybe it doesn't matter that much, but just a thing that popped into my head.
That's a good
Yeah.
one, I think, but I don't think that...
To be honest,
Yeah.
I think you can buy a smartphone with a pretty decent camera for about 40, 50 bucks right now.
Yeah.
And if they can't afford that, then they probably can't afford a handyman on demand for
Yeah,
10,
okay.
20 cents a minute. And I'm not being an asshole, but it's just,
I think that,
yeah.
people nowadays, more elderly people, don't have a smartphone.
Yeah.
But
And they would
I'm not
never
sure-
use the service, probably.
Exactly. And I don't know, by the way. Also, elderly people have smartphones nowadays. So
No, but my question was more from a perspective.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm a person who
Oh.
would want to use your service,
Mhm.
but I don't have the camera, and I would, for example, say, let's say I want to use that, but my camera is not that good, for
then
example.
you
Can I use the
wouldn't
service?
wouldn't be familiar with the app in the first place
Yeah,
because you don't
probably.
have the app.
You don't get the ads on your phone
Yeah.
because you don't have a phone.
If you don't have a camera,
No,
then
you have a phone, you have a camera, but maybe not
Yeah.
of a certain quality.
Yeah, but this
Like the
app,
basic
yeah, but
simple.
this app is I think it's more mobile.
Yeah.
People, you're most focused on mobile users, right?
Yeah.
And if you're a mobile user, you probably have an iPhone or a Samsung, where there's probably
Yeah,
a
okay.
camera on it.
Yeah, okay.
I think so. I don't
Yeah,
know.
my opinion would be this is a call for the companies that are making smartphones, make them cheaper, make them $1, and so we have more clients.
Yeah.
No, but it's exactly
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
as, let's say you are Mark Zuckerberg, and there's a lot of people, I don't know, in a very poor country, they do have Nokias without a camera, without internet, but
Yeah.
they can call. But they really want to use Facebook. What would you do? What would you say? I mean,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
right?
Yeah, you know what Facebook is doing right now? They're providing internet services in remote areas in Africa, for instance,
Mhm.
in African countries, where they give people in remote areas who are pretty poor free internet, free
Yeah.
access to
Oh, yeah,
internet.
yeah, I've heard of it, man.
Yeah. So that's one way of tackling it.
They
so
are actually
they're
bringing in
they're
people. They
actually
are solving
thinking about
problems.
solving
yeah,
about their
yeah.
problems. So that's
Interesting.
Might
an
be
interesting point.
another idea for.
But but seriously, I think it's a good idea, man. You should pursue it.
Cool. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's I think why we're also doing this podcast.
Yeah, that's also, yeah.
I don't have the time. I'm focusing on other stuff right now. I would love to do the idea, but I'm
Yeah.
also kind of giving the opportunity for others to
Yeah,
step
exactly.
in and
Yeah.
help or
Exactly.
do it themselves or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that was basically also I think the essence of this podcast or vlog. I don't know what you want to call it, but
Yeah.
just providing new ideas for
Yeah.
other people and to inspire other people to maybe go after and pursue these ideas
Yeah.
and maybe
So it can
improve
be-
these ideas and then bring it out and just starting your own venture,
Yeah.
just
So-
doing things.
Exactly, and that's also the essence of this podcast is just go after something. Whether it be an idea,
Yeah,
maybe
just
we
do it,
can
yeah.
we have an idea we don't have time for
Yeah.
executing. You can execute the idea yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We gave the spark, and you continue that spark hopefully to some great future ahead. Or if we have a more personal idea which we'd like to pursue, for example, in
Yeah.
my case or in your case,
Yeah.
or maybe in some episodes also some other things.
We won't discuss that with you.
Yeah.
I'm
No, but
just
then
kidding.
you can also maybe help or inspire people. You can have this realization, like, wait a second, I was also thinking about this thing, but I never did something with it, or I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
thought about it. And then
Yeah.
it can, I don't know, hopefully help some people
Yeah.
to gain some, I don't know, movement forward, so to
It
say.
would be
Yeah.
really cool to have a guest star on a podcast in 5, 6, 7 years
Yeah,
who actually made a business out of one of the ideas that we discussed.
Yeah, that
here.
would be really nice. Yeah.
yeah.
And also,
Oh, by the way, our goal eventually is to one day invite Elon Musk to our show. So, Elon Musk, if you're listening,
Join our show.
yeah,
We would love to hear what startups, what ideas you don't have the time to execute on those.
Yeah.
For.
And this is of course Amsterdam. So if you wanna smoke something on our podcast, we got you, man.
totally
We got
legal.
you.
Totally illegal here, man.
Yeah.
no problems whatsoever.
There's a slight chance that Tesla shares will.
But they will go up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Want to wrap it up? Yeah?
Sure. Yeah.
I think this was a pretty good.
This
wrap-up,
was
actually.
it was a wrap, man.
Yeah.
It was
And
pretty good.
also one
Yeah.
thing for you listeners and other guys who are watching this. Next to the business ideas we will talk about in the next episode, we also want to mention we will also have in the future some guests here. So we will have some entrepreneurs also in our show which will discuss their company, their practical advice on
Yeah.
how they started the business, what they did, what choices they made, and why they made those choices. With the lesson which can hopefully help you, which can help us and
Yeah.
other people, to inspire their own businesses.
Yeah.
So there's also good things ahead.
Yeah, certainly. And if you're listening or watching this podcast, well, if you want to share your ideas and come over and share them, just just send us an email, and we'll probably invite you over.
And based on the really high selective criteria in your curriculum vitae, we will select you or not. No, just jokes aside. Just send an email on...
Yeah, we'll probably invite you over. All right, cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Oh, yeah, and one last thing. Before the podcast, we made kind of a promise that we wanted to have one joke, and it was the... I just had to put it in
air horn
there.
app. It's an air horn app, by the way. If you want to download it, just go on your app store and then download the air horn. Right, guys?
Go, guys.
Cheers.